What is up, everybody? It's Viper Parlay, and today in this video we're going to dissect what happened in the prelims for UFC Whittaker versus Till. Go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button to join us. I'm going to be doing videos like this for each UFC event. So for my predictions, I was 60% correct. So let's go ahead and dissect what happened here. So starting with Wood versus Castaneda, in round one, there was a large volume of leg kicks from both of the fighters. Castaneda had really strong pressure, really good footwork, and uppercuts were coming from Wood. Both of the fighters were trading inside and outside leg kicks. Wood had great takedown defense. He tripped Castaneda in the last 40-ish seconds and then brought him down, and then the fight was back onto the feet very quickly. Going into round two, Castaneda came out with pressure and heavy strikes, bringing Wood to the cage. Wood kept circling the cage and moving out of the way. There was great footwork again from both fighters. Wood had great focus on his leg kicks. He clinched about halfway into the second, but it didn't lead to anything much. And then Wood cut Castaneda up with a combination and a hook, and his striking increased tremendously in the second half of that second round. And then more leg kicks were coming from Wood. Round three, there was a lot of body strikes from Wood, more combinations and leg kicks. Castaneda kept the pressure on him, though. Wood clinched him to the cage, but it didn't lead to anything once again. And then more amazing strikes followed by Wood. He really showed his wide array of capabilities. There was a great counter, left hooks. There was a brief reverse takedown at the end, but overall there was a solid performance by Wood. It ended up being Wood by unanimous decision, and I did predict this one correctly. And so moving right along, we have Emeev versus Stolze. So this one, it was actually, I guessed it incorrectly, or I predicted it incorrectly. So round one, there was a lot of feints by Stolze, good evasive footwork, and he was very unpredictable. Emeev got the takedown, but Stolze got right back up quickly. Stolze was then taken down by Emeev, and so overall there was strong grappling and control by Emeev in the first round. Stolze was able to stand back up around the halfway mark of that first round and break free. But then Emeev took him down again, and Stolze, he attempted to do a guillotine, but it didn't really work. There was great ground and pound by Emeev. The round ended with Stolze giving Emeev a knee to his head, and it brought Emeev down, but the first round ended, which was interesting because that was kind of like a turn of events, but he was basically saved by the buzzer. Round two, Emeev slipped while striking, but no big deal. He appeared to have some trouble with his leg and foot, but big punches were coming from Emeev overall, a lot of pressure. Emeev tried to take him down, but Stolze showed great takedown defense, and then Stolze slowed down in the second. I don't know if he was tired or what. There was a great jab from Emeev, strong striking abilities from Emeev. So round three, he showed great grappling skills. Emeev, of course. Stolze showed back up a little bit in the third. Maybe he recovered a little bit, but he took down Emeev and had great striking early in the round. Emeev was able to kick him off and stand him back up, take control of Stolze and press him against the cage. This followed by knee strikes to the legs of Stolze. Overall control was maintained by Emeev, and he finished the round strongly. So it was Emeev, and so two judges scored it 30 to 28, and then one judge scored it 29-28. And so this one was one of the ones that I had predicted incorrectly. Emeev really showed that he's the stronger, better grappler, better striker. So we're going to be keeping our eyes on him. And moving right along, we have Kianzad versus Bethe Correa. So we did predict this one correctly. Basically in the first round, Kianzad had strong hooks. Bethe tried to take her down, but she had great takedown defense. Bethe landed some really strong hooks as well. Kianzad's Muay Thai really rocked Bethe a little bit. There was a scramble at the end of the round as Kianzad caught Bethe off guard. She thought that the round had ended, and that was so embarrassing. Round two, Kianzad dropped, and Bethe had the top position in the first minute of that second round. Kianzad scrambled to get an arm bar, but it wasn't successful. There was really strong ground and pound by Bethe. At this point in the fight, it was kind of like, is Bethe going to take it? Who knows? But then Kianzad was back up on her feet around that half of the round. And at the end, it was kind of just sluggish it was a sluggish ending. They were throwing wild punches. Both of them were clearly tired. Round 3 started. There was beautiful combinations by Kianzad. Beche was still pressuring Kianzad and throwing powerful punches. She's kind of like a dog fighter. And so Beche got rocked around halfway mark of the final round. Kianzad took advantage and took the fight to the ground. However, they both quickly came right back up. With about 40 seconds left, Beche tried to grapple Kianzad against the cage. However, it didn't work. Beche took down Kianzad towards the very end of the round with a creative knee and following shoulder strikes, but she was doing like knee strikes to her hamstrings. But basically what happened was Kianzad won. Two judges scored it 30-27 and 29-28 for Kianzad. And so, and earlier when I said Emiv, two judges scored it 30-28, I meant 30-27, so my mistake. And so we did predict that one correctly. And then moving to the next fight, we have Pessoa versus Boser. And I did predict this one correctly. So in the first round, there was a wild spinning kick from Pessoa. It definitely caught me off guard. I didn't expect him to do that, but it didn't connect or anything like that. Boser kept the pressure on him overall. There was a strong overhand from Boser, but it didn't connect either. Pessoa tried to charge him with combinations without any luck. Boser's leg kicks were connecting for sure. Both fighters were very careful and calculative in that first round, and they were trying to read each other. In the second round, there was a lot of pressure from Pessoa. Good leg kicks were coming from Boser again. Pessoa caught Boser with the left punch early in the round, and then the two exchanged wild shots, but it wasn't really anything major, to no avail. So Pessoa tried to take down Boser, however, that didn't work. And then Boser did a good job of evading overhands that Pessoa was trying to throw and his hooks. And so Boser struck Pessoa, and it appeared as though his eye was hurting, so he was like flinching. But of course, Boser continued the strikes, and Pessoa fell. And this was followed by ground and pound by Boser to win the fight by TKO. So the result, of course, Boser TKO second round. We did get that one correct. And so up next, we have Evloev versus Grundy. And this one as well, we predicted correctly. So round 1, there was a great amount of pressure by Grundy. He was chasing him down. He even did a takedown. His grappling dominance was shown. He followed by another takedown, and then strike exchanges came after that. Evloev hit good, significant strikes, though. Grundy tried to do a submission, but it didn't work. Towards the end of the first round, there was great pressure by Evloev, and the two were scrambling. Round 2, Grundy was dominant with his grappling, but Evloev's striking was visibly taking a real toll on Grundy. There was a large volume of significant strikes from Evloev. Round 3, there was a failed takedown attempt from Grundy, multiple failed takedown attempts. Overall, great array of striking displayed by Evloev. Towards the half, Grundy did score a takedown. Dominant strikes from Evloev, and Grundy just came up short here. So the results were Evloev, unanimous decision. 2 judges scored it 30-27. 1 judge scored it 29-28. And so moving on to the next fight, not much to say about this fight. So we did guess it correctly, or predict it correctly rather, but Aspinall won. It was a first round knockout, 45-second knockout. Basically, there was a knee to the body of Collier and then a solid 1-2. Aspinall came out very confident, great shape. His chin was up. He was calm. He clearly had the overall advantage here. He displayed great striking and accuracy. Collier, he used to be a slimmer individual back in the UFC in his earlier MMA days, but it just seems like all that weight around the waist, just like I predicted, would slow him down. So, wonderful display by Aspinall. I believed he could do it, and he did. So, moving to the next fight, Dalby versus Ronson. So, right off the bat, Dalby came out in the first round with wild punches, great kicks. Ronson was trying to figure out his rhythm and stay calm. However, he did get tagged a bit, so Ronson's face started showing redness, and his physical state overall was taking a toll because Dalby's pace was insane. Dalby had great grappling against the cage as well, and great body kicks against Ronson. Ronson then tagged Dalby, and he fell down. and Ronson established top guard, and it resulted in a submission, as you can see, after that very chaotic turn of events. This was all in round one, but Ronson basically won rear naked choke, 248 in the first round. I predicted this one incorrectly, so definitely, but Dalby, he was doing great though. But moving right along, we have Herbert versus Trinaldo. Trinaldo, basically in the first round, Herbert was clearly utilizing his reach advantage properly, staying very light on his feet. Trinaldo threw a painful body kick and got Herbert to the edge of the cage, scored a takedown, and threw elbows at Herbert. And of course, since Trinaldo, he missed weight, he's an individual with more muscle mass, like we discussed. So I had a feeling that if this fight gets taken to the ground, he's going to have the clear advantage with his grappling and wrestling. Herbert should have stayed on the outside and utilized his range better. But basically, still in the first round, Herbert luckily escaped a guillotine. And Herbert came back with a knee towards the end of the first and a takedown within the last minute. Both fighters were scrambling at the end. A lot of people said that Herbert won that round, and he got it towards the end. So round two, Herbert threw a solid punch, which sent Trinaldo down. And at this point, I was like, all right, Herbert, he's going to get it. So Herbert got on top of Trinaldo on the ground, and they both scrambled. He shouldn't really have done that. He should have kept the fight on the feet. But Trinaldo was trying to hold on, and he ended up giving his back to Herbert. So, that I was like, all right, so maybe Herbert could submit him. Herbert successfully established a body triangle and attempted to obtain a rear naked choke. They both got up after that. Around the halfway point of the second round, Trinaldo was visibly exhausted, while Herbert looked very energetic and active. He was bouncing around. Herbert's right hand went straight through the guard of Trinaldo to rock him again between the first and second minute mark, and Herbert maintained overall dominance, so I gave the second round to him as well. And then in the third round, there was beautiful jabs by Herbert. There was a good body kick by Trinaldo, and he appeared to be a little bit more active than the previous round, maybe recovered a little bit, caught his breath. Trinaldo threw a lightning overhand, which knocked Herbert out right on his forehead. The left was too much for Herbert, and it resulted in the TKO/KO in the third round. I wouldn't say I, predicted that fight incorrectly. Sure, at the end, the other fighter won, but overall, Herbert had that fight, and had he stuck to the game plan, utilized his range, that would have been an easy victory as well. So overall, on the prelims, I guess, or predicted 5 out of 8 correctly. In the whole night, I had 60% accuracy. So this video is just for the prelims. I'm going to be uploading another video really shortly about the main card and the breakdown and results for that. So if you want to check that out, or if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing videos like this for each UFC event. So if you're a fan, go ahead and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. I'll be following you guys back. Thanks again, and let's look forward to the next event.